church. What you doing, Phil?
I'm getting ready for today's episode. No? What? It's not working very well. I'm ready.
Well done, Phil. But you need to wait a bit. We don't need it just yet. We need it for the story later.
Yeah, but
Wait. Before we go on to the story that involves this,
yeah.
we're going to remember what we learnt last week.
Ooh.
Do you remember?
10 Commandments.
Yeah, up again. Okay, commandment number 1. You shall have no other gods. Worship only me, which is God.
Yeah.
Number 2, don't bow down to idols, nothing in heaven, earth or sea.
Yeah.
Number 3, do not misuse my name. 4, remember the Sabbath day. 5 says,
respect your father and mother.
yeah. Commandment number 6.
Says you shall not murder.
Bang, 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 bang. 7, 8 and 9. Yeah, true spiritual fitness. Don't commit adultery, steal or bear false witness.
Yeah.
Number 10. Do you remember number 10?
No, you're gonna.
Don't covet.
Oh.
That's God's law. That's law and live and love it.
Should we do that? I feel like we need to start with that
I
song.
think we do.
Because you learnt it last week, so you
See
should
if you
now
can-
know it.
Yeah, see if you can remember them and do the actions.
Yeah, awesome.
The Israelites were freed by grace from Pharaoh's greedy hands. They wandered in and out of faith in the desert's burning sands. They needed rules
Good job, guys.
Well
Good
done.
remembering. Now, this week. No, not yet, Phil. Not yet. We have to wait for the story. This week's story is all about Moses.
What? No. No, we did 4 weeks on
I'm
Moses.
joking.
You said to me last week, you said it was
No,
finished.
I'm joking. Don't worry. This week's story begins with Moses. No! Later. This week's story begins with Moses because you remember what happened last week? The people were sometimes trusting God, sometimes not trusting
Yeah.
God. So he said, right, I'm going to give you the way that you're going to live, which was the 10 Commandments, wasn't it? And so that was going to help them live better.
Yeah.
And they were headed to the promised land.
Oh, yeah.
Which is what our memory verse has been all about, hasn't it?
Yeah, about flowing milk and honey.
Yeah, exactly. They're headed towards the good land that God promised Abraham.
Yeah.
And now Moses and the people are trying to get back there.
How long have they been travelling for?
They travelled for 40 years.
40 years.
40 years.
40 years. That's older than Haley.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, they were travelling for 40 years. But do you know what's even worse?
What?
They were travelling around and around in circles.
In circles.
In circles.
Why?
They didn't have to travel that long, but because they didn't trust God, he said, you have to travel for longer.
Oh.
So they were wandering around for 40
Silly.
years, and then finally they come to the edge of the land God promised them.
Mm-hmm.
But there was a river in the way, and there was people who built a big wall in the way, and they were thinking, I don't know how we're going to get through this. And then Moses died. He was very, very old. He was already an adult when he led them out of Egypt, wasn't he? And then 40 years later, he
Wow.
would have been a very, very old man.
So who took
So
over?
he died, and Joshua took over for leading the people, and he is about to lead the people into the promised land.
Oh, can we hear the
So
story?
we're going to have to see how it happens because the river's in the way and the wall's in the way. So how is it going to happen?
Oh.
We're going to have to see. Let's listen to the
Listen.
story.
I really loved the story of Moses.
Yeah, it was long, wasn't it?
It was quite long. But I'm wondering, so Moses gave the 10 Commandments to all the Israelites.
Yep.
But what happened next? Did they all keep the 10 Commandments? Did they ever get to the Promised Land? What happened?
There are some very good questions. And fortunately, the next story in the Bible tells us all about what happened next and a man named Joshua.
Brilliant. Can we take a look?
Absolutely, let's jump into the book. Okay, are you ready?
Yes.
1, 2, 3.
Is that Moses?
Yeah, that's Moses.
Ah, he's looking really old.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a long time since we saw him as a baby in the bush. Do you remember in the river?
That's right. He went down the river and the princess picked him up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is a long, long time after that now.
Right.
So the Israelites finally arrived at the Promised Land,
Hooray!
but there are already lots of people there.
Oh.
I know, not brilliant. But they knew that God had promised them that special place to stay.
Yeah. As he said, and he took him out of Egypt.
Yeah.
He said he was going to take him to that land.
Yep, you're right.
So what did they do?
Well, Moses sent 12 spies into the Promised Land to see what was going on.
Sneaky.
So then when they came back, 10 of them said, we'll never be able to defeat the people there.
What?
I know. But Joshua and Caleb came back and they said, with God's help, we can do it.
Well, exactly, because God had taken him out of Egypt. He'd done all those miracles.
Yep.
Like, of course he was going to give them the land. So who did they believe? What happened?
Let's see. So after hearing what the 10 spies had to say, the people were really frightened. They didn't believe that they could do it with God's help. They believed the 10 spies who said they wouldn't be able to get into the Promised Land.
Oh, silly.
So God said, only your children with Joshua and Caleb will enter the Promised Land. So they had to wait for 40 years
40 years.
in the desert.
That's ages.
I know.
Are we done yet? Oh, yes. What do they do for 40 years? A lot of I Spy.
Yep. So, after 40 years, it was finally time for
Hooray!
the Israelites to go to the Promised Land. Do you want to see what happens next?
Yes! What's happening? Is that someone moving?
Yes, yeah. So what happened next is that Joshua sent 2 spies into Jericho.
Oh.
And they met a woman. Can you see a woman in the window with them?
Yeah, yeah.
Her name was Rahab.
Oh, hi Rahab.
And she hid them and helped them to escape.
Oh.
Down the wall. They promised to spare her and her family and keep her safe.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
She helped them.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Looks a bit dangerous, doesn't it?
It's very dangerous. I think it's going to fall. Oh, no, it's all right.
Okay, good. All right, well, let's see what happens next.
Yeah.
So the Israelites needed to cross the Jordan River.
Right. Where's
So-
their boat?
Well, exactly. God helped them cross the Jordan River. The priests went first,
Yeah.
and they were carrying the Ark of the Covenant. It was really special.
Ooh.
And when their feet touched the river, it just stopped flowing.
What?
And everyone was able to cross on dry land.
Oh, like with Moses when he stopped and parted the river.
Yeah.
He did it again.
Again.
Whoa. That's cool. So,
That is cool.
what happened next?
Jericho was next. The Lord told Joshua for 6 days, march around Jericho.
Getting dizzy.
Then on day 7, march around 7 times. God told them to blow trumpets and shout, and the walls of Jericho would fall down.
I know. I can help.
Whoa.
What happened?
The wall fell down.
What?
Oh my goodness. It worked. All of that noise and blowing trumpets and shouting.
Walking around the walls.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Wow. So they made it to the promised land.
Yeah. So because Joshua trusted God and did what the Lord said, the walls fell down.
Hooray!
The Israelites were able to move into the promised land, and Rahab, the lady who was looking after them, was spared. She was kept safe.
Hooray!
I know, so everything worked out brilliantly.
Amazing.
And they were finally in the promised land.
Finally in the promised land. Oh, that's a great story.
It is incredible.
So, what happened next then?
Well, we're going to have to wait until next week to find out.
Oh, okay.
Ready to go?
All right then.
Bye.
Bye.
Not yet. I'm building my walls of Jericho, Phil.
Oh, well, I'm going to build something to knock it down then.
We don't need to. Did you not just listen to the story?
Yeah, but, I mean, come on. How is he not using like a catapult to knock it
No,
down?
you didn't have to. You obviously didn't listen to the story, Phil. Do you want to help us reenact the story of Jericho? Get some blocks and you can build your own wall, and then we're going to knock it down.
Oh, can I help?
Yeah. So quickly go and grab your own blocks. They can be big like mine or they can be small, it doesn't matter.
Oh, and
But
then
we need to build a wall.
And then we're going to reenact it by marching around.
Yeah. So you were listening to the story, Phil. What are you talking about catapults for then?
Well, it just seems like a more sensible option.
Yeah, I think probably Joshua and the rest of the Israelites thought the same. Don't you think?
Well, yeah. 'Cause can you imagine coming up against a massive big wall and then being told to just walk around it lots and lots of times as well?
That would seem a little bit crazy, wouldn't
It would. And for Joshua, who's just become in charge of all the Israelite people, to then just tell them all, Now we're going to march around it. They must have thought it was mad.
They must have.
They must have thought God had chosen the wrong person as well.
How's your wall going, guys? Is yours getting as tall as ours? Ours is getting tall. I'm going to have to pick it up.
It's impressive though how he trusted God and listened to his instructions. Exactly.
Okay, we're nearly done.
Sorted.
Almost done. Ta-da!
Good job.
It's like the bit on the castle, isn't it, Phil?
Yeah, right.
And
So
it's
now he
where
just
God
blew his
sa-
trumpets.
Like where God, hang on! It's like where God saved Rahab. Like one big pillar of the castle.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember that part of the story?
Yes, at the beginning.
The lady helps the spies,
Yeah.
so she got saved even though the walls came crumbling down. Exactly. Okay, so God said to Joshua, march around 7 times on the 7th day. They did it
Whilst
for
playing
days and
trumpets?
days and days. But then on the last day, they had to march around 7 times, didn't they? And then trumpets at the end.
Oh,
So we
okay.
got to go around 7 times. If you finish your tower, we're going to march around it 7 times. You ready to count with us? Ready? Let's go.
1, 2, 3, 4.
This is 1. And 2. I'm getting dizzy already.
3. Are you marching around yours? 4. Cool, they must have been very tired.
I mean, this is just a small tower. They would have been marching around a big 5. A big city, wouldn't they? 5.
And 6.
6. Almost there.
We've got one more time for this. No, this is
1 more time.
last time.
7.
Here we
Last
go.
time. Ready to play a trumpet now, Phil? And the wall's down. Oh, did you knock yours over?
Woo!
Phil?
That was a good job there.
Yeah, I think we did. I think it's amazing that they didn't have to cross the river on a boat.
Yeah.
The river just dried up for them. And then when they walked around the city and obeyed what God said, it fell down and they were able to enter into the land that God promised them.
Yeah.
It's amazing. And also that God saved Rahab.
It's all mind blowing. In one story of one man, so many things are happening
Yeah.
again.
And I think that the real big point is that God wins battles.
Yeah.
He doesn't need us, does he?
No.
He didn't need Joshua, he didn't need their soldiers, he didn't need them to fight. He just needed them to do what he said.
Didn't need them to
And
go
the
to catapult.
battle was won. No, he didn't need a catapult. And the battle was won, which is amazing.
That is incredible.
And it's even more amazing because the wall would have been so well built
Yeah.
and hard to take down, wouldn't it? Like a castle.
Yeah. What?
Do you have some fun facts about castles?
Oh, I do have some fun facts about Castle. Let's go. Hey guys, welcome to Fun Facts with me, Phil. This is the last Fun Fact with Phil, sadly, for the moment. So next week we've got something else in store for you. But today I thought I'd bring you some facts about castles. So we'll put our minute timer up on the screen and we'll go in 3, 2, 1. Everything about castles were built to keep people inside safe. It's made up of many different parts, not just one building. The main building inside the castle is the keep, which was protected by walls and towers. The first castles were built by the Normans and were called moat and bailey castles. Some of the first castles were made from wood before they were built from stone. Stone is longer lasting material and difficult for attackers to break down. The Normans built castles to help them defend land they just conquered. They were built on hills so enemies could be seen coming from far away. William the Conqueror had some of England's most famous castles built. These include Windsor Castle and the White Tower at the Tower of London. Castles were only as good as their defence. This included ramparts, bastions and arrow loops. It wasn't easy to attack a castle, but people tried anyway using trebuchets, siege towers and battering rams. Edward I had concentric castles built in England. He had more than one curtain wall around the castle, so enemies would have a harder time breaking through. Oh, so those were today's fun facts. I hope you've learned something today. But it's goodbye from me, and next week you'll have something a little bit different. Take care, guys. Bye.
Hi there, Captain America here. It's from Joshua 1 verse 9, and the words are, God says, be strong and brave. Don't be afraid, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. Brilliant, well done if you got that home. So, what I thought we'd do is put it to some action and then maybe get into a song. What do you think? Let's give it a go. Right, put this down. So, first of all, actions. So, Joshua 1 verse 9. So we're at Joshua 1 verse 9. Okay? But make sure you've got 9 fingers because that's what verse we're on. So Joshua 1 verse 9. And it is God says, be strong and brave. The best superhero pose is strong and brave. Okay? Don't be afraid. Scared faces, so don't be afraid. For the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. That's the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. Perfect. So hopefully now you've got some words, you've got some actions. So I thought what we now do is do a little repeat after me song. So I'm going to get some help from one of my Avengers. Hi Thor.
Hi, Captain.
Might help me out with a bit of an action song. Thought we'd do a repeat after me.
I'm in.
Yeah? Brilliant. Okay, so now I've got my words, got my actions, got my helper. You guys ready to join at home? Let's hear some music. Okay, ready guys? Remember to repeat after me. Remember our actions. Here we go. Joshua 1 verse 9. Joshua 1 verse 9. God says, be strong and brave. God says, be strong and brave. Don't be afraid of the Lord your God. Don't be afraid of the Lord your God. Be with you wherever you go. Be with you. Let's do that again. You go. Joshua 1 verse 9. Joshua 1 verse 9. God says, be strong and brave. God says, be strong and brave. Don't be afraid of the Lord your God. Don't be afraid of the Lord your God. Be with you wherever you go. Be with you. One more time. Here we go. Joshua 1 verse 9. Joshua 1 verse 9. God says, be strong and brave. God says, be strong and brave. Don't be afraid of the Lord your God. Don't be afraid of the Lord your God. Be with you wherever you go. Be with you wherever you go. Awesome. Well done, guys. We got that home. Hopefully you now remember the memory verse and some actions. Alright. Until next time.
Hello, it's prayer time. Time to find yourself a comfy place to sit and grab a blanket, grab a pillow, grab a teddy, whatever you want. All the activities you want to do while we pray. Maybe this week you'd like to continue playing with your blocks, seeing as we're all talking about how the walls came down and how God won the battle. Maybe you want to keep doing some building. But as always, we're going to think about the story today and how it might affect us and maybe what we can learn from it. So, I hope you found yourself a comfy space and you've got everything that you need. And we're going to just think about a few questions. I wonder, if you were there marching around the city, would you have expected the walls to fall down? I wonder, do you think Joshua was afraid? Why? I wonder, what battles do you face? Ask God to help you trust like Joshua did. We learnt in our memory verse today that we should be strong and brave and trust in God because He will be with us wherever we go. And that was true for Joshua, wasn't it? He was unsure about leading the people, and he wasn't sure how he was going to get across the river or defeat the city of Jericho with its big, strong walls. But actually, he didn't need to do anything. All he needed to do was do what God said. And God won the battle for him, even though it seemed so big to Joshua. And maybe it's the same for us. Maybe we're looking at something. Maybe it's not like a real battle, or a war, like what Joshua had to deal with. But maybe we have to deal with something else in our life that's tough, that we have to struggle through. Maybe that's our battle. Maybe we're struggling with being kind to our family. Maybe we're struggling with being at home all the time. Maybe that's our battle, and we need God's help to be strong and brave, and to trust Him through that battle. So maybe you want to think about that a little bit more. Maybe you want to talk to God and ask Him to help you with the battle like Joshua did, because God wins battles. So I'm going to pray for you. Dear Jesus, thank you for the story of Joshua, and thank you that you won the battle for him. I pray that as we think about some of the battles we might face in our own lives, that you will help us to be strong and brave and to remember that you are with us wherever we go. Amen. You can keep building your walls if you like. You can keep doing prayer times. You can keep thinking about how God might help you in your battles and how you can be strong and brave. But we're going to sing a song.
And showed that God is King. You lived a life of love and gave your life for us. You've beaten death and lived today. Jesus sent to earth to save us. It's your love that changes everything. You're the hero of the world. Jesus sent to earth to save us. It's your love that changes everything. You're the hero of the world. You healed the sick, you helped the blind to see again. You loved the poor and set the prisoner free. You calmed the storm and transformed water into wine. You spoke the truth and showed that God is King. You lived a life of love and gave your life for us. You've beaten death and lived today. Jesus sent to earth to save us. It's your love that changes everything. You're the hero of the world. Jesus sent to earth to save us. It's your love that changes everything. You're the hero of the world. There is no greater hero, no greater love than you showed. You gave your life to save the world. There is no greater hero, no greater love than you showed. Jesus, the hero of the world.
again so we can watch it full.
I'm getting ready.
You're getting ready?
Yep.
What for?
Yeah.
You don't have to get ready for Christmas yet. It's only the summer.
I know, but you know. Well, okay.
It's not time for Christmas carols, is it?
Well,
Or do you just like them that much?
you know, they're good fun.
Do you like Christmas carols that much? Wow. Okay, I'm going to rebuild my tower so I can watch it fall again. So you can do the same if you want, but that's it for us today, isn't it?
Yeah, I know. It's hadn't gone quick today.
So, don't forget during the week that God is with you wherever you go
Yeah.
and that He wins battles.
Awesome. Well, see you next week, guys. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.